Good afternoon and welcome to this May week after launch presentation of Prime News Run. Today is Wednesday, the 17th day of April, AD 2024. I'm Jutonu Kollie with this after launch edition of the program. In our top stories, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency's Director General, Colonel Abraham Kruman, and his Deputy for Operations, Hassan Fadiga, got a lockerheads at the institution. Liberia's Information Minister Gerald Limepia discloses that President Joseph Numa Boakai has promised to intervene.
The president expects that officials of government will work together because the mission is to deliver to the people. We cannot and will not deliver effectively to the people when we have reports of infighting and some of the things we are reading in different media outlets about the LDEA.
The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Transport, launches 21 days vehicles inspection exercise across the country beginning today, Wednesday. Transport Minister Sadif Talor announces that the ministry has collected and deposited US $2.4 million as revenue from January to March this year. And also
tomorrow, the Ministry of Transport will begin its full 21-day exercise of inspections. So, in 21 days, tomorrow for 21 days, we'll be inspecting throughout the 15 subdivisions in the country from January 2nd.
And also coming up in the news this afternoon.
There was 51 occupant at further. People we have 7. We have 0 class A, 1 class B, and 3 class C. And another 3 were unknown. So today we've come to let you know that we will soon be launching our fire prevention awareness.
The Liberia National Rescue and Fire Service releases statistics on fire disasters from January to April of this year. Liberia's Fire Service Director, Colonel Wasuwa Buffalo, reveals 11 persons were killed with 51 occupants made homeless during a period unrevealed. And away from whom, Nigerian socialist and businessman Cubana chief priest has become the latest local celebrity to be charged with abusing banknotes in that West African country. The news bulletin, the voices of the newsmakers, our international developments, including the Passion of Life spokes, are all forming part of this May week after launch edition. But first, Christopina Nyanneh and the news bulletin. Chris, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Jutonu. Good afternoon, Liberia. Information Minister Jeremy McPeer has revealed that President Joseph Boakai has promised to resolve the internal conflicts between officials of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Recently, media reports indicated that there exists an internal wrangling between the LDEA Director General Colonel Abraham Kruman and his Deputy for Operations Hassan Fadiga. Some Liberians have asserted that addressing the reported internal conflict between Colonel Kruman and his deputy Fadiga at the LDEA is vital to maintaining the integrity and effectiveness of the LDEA in its fight against drug-related crimes in Liberia. Speaking at MICAD regular press briefing Tuesday, Minister Pia said President Boakai hopes that all officials of government work in harmony for the growth and development of the country. He added that the Boakai Cone administration came on the agenda to rescue the country, and as such, a mission will not be accomplished if officials of government do not work in unity and harmony. Meanwhile, Information Minister Jeremy McPeer has assured citizens of the government's commitment to prosecute individuals or businesses involved in selling donated drugs to the public. USAID Mission Director Jim Wright recently reported that about 90% of drugs donated to Liberia are being sold to pharmaceutical institutions in the country. Pierre, however, thanked the U.S. aid for the information while promising that the government would do the needful. Liberia's Transport Minister Salif Talor has revealed the collection and deposit of 2.4 million United States dollars for government as revenues collected from January to March 2024. According to Minister Talor, the amount collected constitutes 34% growth as compared to January 2023 to March 2023. Minister Talor told Mika press briefing Tuesday that 32% of the revenue was generated from insurance of stickers, while 36% revenue was generated from vehicle registration. Minister Talor also pledged his administration's support to ensuring that President Joseph Boakai's addressed agenda is achieved by efforts to collect the needed revenue for development. Meanwhile, Minister Salif Talor has disclosed plans to commence a nationwide vehicles inspection beginning this Wednesday, April 17, 2024. The Liberia National Fire and Rescue Service has released statistics on fire disasters resulting to the loss of lives and properties damaged, covering January to April 7, 2024. Making the disclosure at MICA's regular press briefing Tuesday, LNFS Director Wonsua Boafo says there were 59 fire outbreaks, which led to the deaths of 11 people, with 51 occupants made homeless. Colonel Bafo attributed the increasing wave of fire disasters across the country to ignorance and mistakes, while revealing that the use of candles and mosquito courts, as well as poor electricity system, as contributing factors. He wants central government to provide huge budgetary allotments to the Liberian National Fire and Rescue Service to augment its works across the country. Colonel Waswa Bafo disclosed that the Liberian National Fire and Rescue Service is expected to embark on safety measures initiative including awareness campaign aimed at educating citizens on preventive methods. Meanwhile, Director Waswa Bafo has stressed the need to use fire alarm and fire extinguisher as recommended by fire experts as first aid measure in curtailing the fire outbreaks at various homes and companies. The Civil Society Network of Liberia has expressed utter disappointment in the Gregory Como-led Liberia National Police of its failure to release fundings from the recent violent protests that vandalized the facilities of B Mountain Mining Corporation in Kinjor, Grant, Cape Mount County. According to the network, it has been over a month since the aggrieved citizens disrupted the peace that resulted to the deaths of few persons and the destruction of the company's facilities. The LNP is yet to release its investigative report to the public. The Civil Society Network also condemned in the strongest terms such violent protests, alleged massive looting and destruction of the company's facilities, while calling on the Liberian National Police to arrest and prosecute those behind the persistent protests at the concession site. The group in the dispatch said it is also appalled and disgusted that few citizens of Grant Cape Mount County will be demanding the removal of Deba Allen as general manager of B Mountain. CSNL frowns that for a handful of citizens allegedly backed by District Number 2 Representative Mohammed Dawson and some prominent citizens of the county to incite protest and hold Mr. Deba Allen responsible for such alleged negligence is ridiculous, while calling on them to desist. The CSO noted that these demands to remove Deba Allen, a son of Grant Baza County, as general manager of the company, is divisive and has the potential to fuel tribal conflicts in Liberia. The network believes that the existence of any alleged unfair labor practices at B Mountain must be investigated by the Liberian government instead of holding Mr. Deba Allen responsible for such. The House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Judiciary, Security and Good Governance to investigate the unauthorized leakage of former President George Weah and other former officials of CDC government asset declaration documents. The said investigation concerns the breach of confidentiality surrounding public officials. The committees are to work with the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, which has already launched an internal investigation into the matter. Plenary took the decision during its Tuesday section after a lengthy debate when current and former head of the LCC appeared before the body, triggered by a communication from Montserrat District Number 9 Representative Frank Safoko. During her presentation when she took the witness stand, LCC Executive Chairperson Alexandra Zoe confirmed that findings of a recently launched investigation has established the documents were requested by the then LCC Chairperson James Verdell. She further disclosed that the LCC, after an inquiry from the Asset Declaration team at the entity, she was informed that former Chairperson Verdell requested for the Asset Declaration documents of 5 former officials of government, including former President George Weah, former Vice President Joel Howard Taylor, former Finance and Development Planning Minister Samuel Toye, former Presidential Affairs Minister Nathaniel McGill, and former Monrovia City Mayor Jefferson Koji. The clarification by the current LCC boss has now cleared Councillor Edwin Clark Martin, who previously headed the LCC, of all accusations levied against him for leaking the documents. Recently, former LCC boss Councillor Edwin Clark Martin has heavily been criticized and accused for leaking former President we are senior officers of his government to the public. The committees are to work and report in 2 weeks. The Deputy Director General of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority has termed the development of a shrimp management plan as an important pillar in Liberia's fisheries management strategy, with support from the World Bank under the Liberia Sustainable Management of Fisheries Project. Augustine Monobala disclosed that the shrimp management plan is being developed at a time when Liberian fisheries management is experiencing what he termed as decline in revenue generation. Monobala, however, noted that shrimp, which is one of Liberia's high-value species, developing a management plan at this time that will allow exploitation will generate revenue potential for the country. The Liberian Fishery Deputy Director for Administration made the statement at the start of a one-day workshop on the validation of a draft shrimp fishery management plan for the Liberian multi-species deep water shrimp fishery held at NAFA corporate headquarters near the free port of Monrovia. The plenary of the Liberian Senate has constituted a 6-man ad hoc committee to launch an investigation into the operations of MedTech Scientific Liberia Limited. Those named on the committee include Senators Amara Conan, Deba Vabla, Darius DeLong, Edwin Snow, Augustine Chie, and Prince Moy of Bonk County. The decision of the Senate was prompted by separate communications written by Grant Crew and Babolu County Senators Abbott Chie and Amara Kone. According to Senator Chie, MedTech Scientific Limited that replaced BVAC at the Freeport of Monrovia operations in the country was not rectified by the legislature. He disclosed that scores of senators have been implicated in the operations of MedTech Scientific Limited. For his part, Babolu County Senator Amara Kone mentioned that MedTech Scientific Limited is defrauding the government of its needed revenue. The acting chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change has reportedly filed a formal complaint against the Unity Party-led government to the House of Representatives and Liberian Senate on what he described as plans to disrupt the peace in the country. Janga Cole said government attempt to recall several Liberians serving in foreign service, the removal of appointees serving in tenure positions, and the plans by the civil service agency to drop over 40,000 employees as reasons. Chairman Cole made the disclosure when he spoke at the program marking the dissolution of the collaborating political parties in Monrovia recently. According to him, the Unity Party should not do things that would disrupt the peace in the country because the opposition community will not sit and allow the Unity Party violate the rights of the Liberian people. The Solidarity and Trust for a New Day stand has launched an urgent appeal to strategic development partners for assistance in combating the escalating fire outbreaks devastating homes, communities, and institutions. The civil society organization dispatched letters to U.S. Embassy, the British Embassy, and delegation of the European Union, stressing the critical need for assistance to strengthen the capabilities of the Liberia National Fire Service. Stand also emphasized that the frequency of fire incidents in Liberia has reached alarming levels, resulting in tragic loss of lives and extensive property damage. Stans urges the government to declare the fight against fire outbreaks a national emergency, emphasizing that these fire tragedies not only claim lives but also exacerbate socio-economic challenges. The organization at the same time warned that unless met with a practical, solution-based approach, the fire situation poses a growing threat to Liberia's national security and democratic stability. The government of Liberia, through the Department of Budget at Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, has kicked off national budget awareness activities in Montserrat County as part of its responsibility to promote public access to budget information. The 2024 draft national budget awareness is intended to give the public access to budget information and opportunities to participate in the budget process at the county level. At the official launch of the awareness event at Stephen Thornburg Estate in Gandalsville, Acting Director for Budget Development and Coordination at the Ministry of Finance, Julius Barker, said the draft national budget awareness is one of government's key priorities that is required by law to disseminate relevant information when the budget is submitted to the national legislature. Barker said government budget is a plan that identifies where the money will come from and also states how the government will spend the money on those activities that are defined, as well as who will be spending the money. The Liberia National Police has arrested one person in connection to the gruesome murder of 36-year-old Amanda Nimbo, an officer of the Monrovia City Police. On April 13, 2024, Officer Amanda Nimbo was allegedly stabbed to death at the Bannersville Junction by several individuals believed to be robbers while on her way home. Addressing Mega regular press briefing Tuesday, Police Inspector General Gregor Coleman said the suspect has given the LMP additional names of those that were involved in the murder of Amanda Nimbo. Colonel Coleman noted that the LMP has launched a rigorous manhunt to ensure that the other perpetrators are brought to face the full weight of the law. River G County Senator Jonathan Sogui has rating the plenary of the Liberian Senate seeking budgetary allocation for youth organizations and other groupings in the fight against drugs and substance abuse. According to Senator Sogui, there are several organizations in the country that are contributing to the fight against drugs and substance abuse, but funding remains a major challenge. He noted that the subsidies, if provided to the targeted organizations will greatly aid the national government in the fight against the intake of illegal substances among young people. The former director of compliance at the Liberia National Fire Service is proposing a national conference comprising of stakeholders to find concrete solutions to address the increase in fire incidents across the country. Augustus Momo described the proposed conference as necessary on grounds that fire disaster occurrences a security risk. Addressing a news conference, Momo pointed out that the conference should bring together representatives of line agencies and ministries. Momo is encouraging the leadership at the Liberia National Fire and Rescue Service to give serious consideration to his proposal. And the plenary of the House of Representatives has requested its Committee on Gender, Labor and Judiciary to review a bill to prohibit child labor. Plenary reached the decision on Tuesday, April 16, 2024, during its fifth extraordinary sitting, following a communication from Sano County District Number 1 Representative Thomas Romeo Quill. Ms. Representative Quill alleged that child labor issues are alarming as most of the children have turned to breadwinners for their individual families on a daily basis. The Sano County lawmaker wants plenary's intervention in order to address the menace. Meanwhile, the Joint Committee is expected to report within a period of 2 weeks. That's the shape of the news bulletin. It's back to you, Jutonu, calling for continuation.
Let me say many thanks to you, Christopina Nyanneh, for the reading of the Jam Park News Bulletin from the News Center. This is a regular segment here on Prime News Run. You're listening to News Run coming to you from the News and Current Affairs Department here at Prime Communications Network Incorporated. And we broadcast from Central Studios of Benson Street here in Monrovia, Liberia. One of the top stories: Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency's Director General Collie Abraham Kruman and his Deputy for Operations Hassan Fatika go a loggerheads at the institution. But Information Minister Jerry Dimipia discloses that President Bouaka is making all efforts to settle the dispute. With that, we'll go for our first development here on the program. Liberia's Transport Minister Salif Tyler has revealed the collection and deposit of $2.4 million United States dollars for government as revenue collected from January to March of this year. Here is Salif Tyler speaking at the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism regular press briefing.
So from January 2nd up to the end of last month, year to date, the Ministry of Transport has raised over $2.4 million to the national coffers. That's just the first quarter, which constituted a 34% growth. Okay, when I mean 34% growth, I mean growth we're comparing from January, February to March, month on month. And the main driver of that growth, we've had a 132% growth in insurance stickers. For the registration process, we've had about 36% growth in the revenue of the registration of motorbikes and motorcycles. So analysis of the first quarter of 2023 versus the first quarter of 2024 shows that we've had a 15% increase in revenue. So we've improved over the time being.
Meanwhile, Minister Salif Tyler has disclosed plans to commence a nationwide vehicle inspection beginning today, April 17, 2024. The inspection exercise has been launched across the country. Here is Minister Tyler making a disclosure on yesterday at the Ministry of Information press briefing.
Tomorrow, the Ministry of Transport will begin its full 21-day exercise of inspections. When I conclude my little talk, I will have the Director of Inspectorate to say a few words on that. So in 21 days, tomorrow for 21 days, we'll be inspecting throughout the 15 subdivisions in the country, and that inspection includes inspections at all concession sites, inspections throughout Monrovia for vehicles, motorbikes, tricycles, and the rest. And one of the inspections we'll be doing, we're seeing that there is ubiquity and inundation in government plates all over the place, and we're trying to stop that. For a vehicle to have a government assigned plates, you will see that it must have the GSA emblem. For many vehicles, we see those plates there will be taken off those vehicles that are not marked with GSA signs.
The Minister of Transport, Sadif Tyler, they're speaking when he addressed the Minister of Information regular press briefing on Tuesday. Stay at the Ministry of Information, the Liberia National Fire and Rescue Service has released statistics on the fire disasters resulting to the loss of lives and properties damage covering January to April 7, 2024. Here is the Director of the Liberia National Fire Service, Kollie Baffa. They're speaking when they address reporters.
Right now, the major challenge that we have is the electrical fire. It may interest you to note that from January to February, we have 41 fires. 12 was class A, that is what we call combustible uncommon fire. 3, class B, what is we refer to as flammable fire. And C, electrical fire 26. There was 11 deaths and 2 injuries. March, we had 11 fire outbreaks, 4 class A, 1 class D, and 6 electrical. There was 51 occupants affected. In April, we have 7. We have 0 class A, 1 class B, and 3 class C. Another 3 were unknown. So today we've come to let you know that we will soon be launching our fire prevention awareness. That will entail jingles. We're going to prepare jingles. We also want to do it in the vernacular so our people get to know that. We also do outreach in the community. We do talk show, as we started today, Sunday morning. I've been on talk show from OK to Ska. I'm here.
Wasowa Bafo is the Director of the Liberia National Fire and Rescue Service. They're speaking at Mika press briefing. Liberia's Information Minister Jerry Limepia has revealed that President Joseph Boakai has promised to resolve the internal wrangling between officials of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Recently, media reports indicated that there exists an internal wrangling between the LDA Director General Colonel April Nkrumah and his Deputy for Operations, Hassan Fatika. Here is the Information Minister speaking during the Ministry of Information press briefing.
The President's attention is being drawn to continuous media reports as to what is happening at the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It is the thinking of the President that government ministries and agencies should be in harmony. The President expects that officials of government will work together because the mission is to deliver to the people. We cannot and will not deliver effectively to the people when we have reports of infighting and some of the things we are reading in different media outlets about the LDEA. That has caught the attention of the President. He will take seize of the matter, and whatever the situation is at the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency will be.
Meanwhile, Minister Pia has assured citizens of the government's commitment to prosecute individuals or business individuals involved in selling donated drugs to the public. USAID Mission Director James Wright recently reported that about 90% of drugs donated to Liberia have been sold to pharmaceutical institutions in the country. Here is Minister Pia once again.
We followed the mission director of USAID Jim Wright, who expressed serious concern about how medications that are meant to be in our medical institutions are ending up in pharmacies because they've been sold. The government takes those comments very seriously. Seriously in the sense that it's a good thing that you say custom information. They've brought this to the public glare, and we want to assure them that as a government, it is concerning if medications that have been donated to benefit our people are being sold and ending up in pharmacies as been reported, and we will do what is supposed to happen.
Liberia's Information Minister Jeremy Matthew Piad addressing the Ministry of Information regular press briefing in Monrovia, Liberia. Folks, if you just joining us, this is a reminder you are listening to Prime News Run, as well as watching us via our Facebook platform this afternoon. My name is Jutonu Kollie with this May week after launch presentation of the program. At this juncture, we cross over now to our sporting department, where Fatoumata Barry is seated to bring us the latest from the world of sports. Good afternoon, Fatou.
Good afternoon, Jutonu Kollie. Good afternoon, Liberia. The National Congress Christmas, the biggest sporting festival in Liberia, continues on today at various host venues in Riverses, Nimba, Montserrado, and River G counties, in Magaby counties, respectively. First, in Nimba, Bon and Grand Cru shared the spoils 0-0 in the kickball category earlier on today. Bomi also defeated Grand Cape County and Babolo County on today to win 2-0 in the kickball category, and they are now with 6 wins and have secured a spot to the quarterfinals scheduled for the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex in Pinze, where all of the quarter, semi-final, and final matches will play. The current fixture is between Montserrado and Grand Cape County, currently at the Anthony Topman Stadium in Central Monrovia. The football matches will continue later today at various venues across the country. First, in the host county, River G County, Grand Juda will take on Sino at 2 p.m., while River G will take on Maryland at 4 p.m. And then in Montserrado County at the famous Anthony Topman Stadium in Central Monrovia, Bapolu will take on Grand Cape County at 2 p.m., while Bomi will take on Montserrado at 4 p.m. In Nimba County, Grand Cru will take on Nimba at 2 p.m., while Bon will take on Riverses at 4 p.m. And then lastly, in Magaby County Group D, Lofa will face Magaby today. The match is set to be Lofa's first, but Magaby's last. Will they secure a spot to the last 16 is currently unknown, and that is to be found out after the official football match at 4 o'clock on today. Elsewhere, a 2024 audit report of the Liberia Football Association has revealed non-compliance with International Financial Reporting System, a policy that serves as the foundation for preparing financial statements. The report further stated the policy lacks comprehensive procedures and disclosures regarding the treatment of transactions in accordance with International Financial Reporting System, with emphasis on the Football Association failure to account or disclose government grants and assistance during the period under review. According to the qualified audit report in the possession of Prime FM Sports, the omission raises concerns regarding the transparency and accuracy of financial reporting within the Liberia Football Association. Remarking at the Liberia Football Association 20th Ordinary Congress in Pinzil, KFA consults a representative averred that there is an urgent need for the Football Association to hire a qualified accountant to develop financial policy in line with international financial reporting standards. Meanwhile, KFA Representative Dominic Osisoga emphasized the high risk associated with cash transaction at the Liberia Football Association and during games in an apparent violation of an established petty cash fund policy and procedures in intended to facilitate transactions efficiently. Notably, the Football Association acknowledged accepts the recommendation of the qualified audit because of the volume and frequency of the transactions surrounding football. And away from Liberia, Borussia Dortmund and Paris Saint-Germain have advanced to the UEFA Champions League last 16 semifinals. Dortmund advanced to the semifinal for the first time since 2012-2013 season when they made it to the finals, while Paris Saint-Germain defeated Barcelona 4-1 on the night at home to advance. Barcelona were down to 10 men earlier in the match, giving Paris Saint-Germain a chance to take advantage of the opportunity, which they did. Goals from Vitinha, Ousmane Dembele, and a brace from Kylian Mbappe set the pace for PSG to advance to the semi-finals. On today, Manchester City hosts Real Madrid at the Etihad, while at the Allianz Stadium, Bayern will take on Arsenal. Jutonu, Kollie, that's the news on the Transfers Desk.
Well, a brilliant presentation there from Fatoumata Barry. Let me say many thanks to you for that. Sports developments here from our sporting department here at Brand Communications Network Incorporated. The Deputy Director General of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority has termed the development of the Swamp Management Plan as an important pillar in Liberia's fisheries management strategy, with support from the World Bank under the Liberia Sustainable Management of Fisheries Project. Augustine Monobala was speaking at the validation of a draft fisheries management plan, which brought together representatives from the World Bank, European Union, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organizations, and other institutions. Here is Augustine Monobala speaking.
This is a very important pillar of our fisheries management strategy, ensuring that we have in place appropriate plan for our fisheries program. As a responsible institution, as a responsible country and government, we don't just go about opening our fisheries without following the scientific process. And so, with support from the World Bank, we are a consultant that have been working along with our team to be able to look at the possibility of exploiting our stream resources. A year ago, we did some experimental fishing on our stream resources, and we thought it was important, based on preliminary data we got, that we make some exploration in this direction. And so the bank supported our endeavor to ensure that we can have a consultant that will help us develop a management plan based on the data that we gather, so that we can be able to responsibly exploit our resources.
Monobala is the Deputy Director General of the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority. They're speaking at a one-day validation forum. The plenary of the Liberian Senate has constituted a assessment ad hoc committee to launch an investigation into the operations of Meltech Scientific Liberia Limited. Those named on the committee include Senators Amara Conan, Daba Vaplat, Daros Dillon, Edwin Snow, Augustine Chie, and Prince Kemu Moi of Bon County. The decision of the Senate was prompted by separate communications written by Grand Crew and by Poto County's Senators Abachie and Amara Kone. Here is Senator Abachie of the Southeastern County of Grand Crew speaking.
I'm coming from the angle that I can say there have been rumors that a contract was executed between the government and Mentec to replace BVAC. But that agreement was not brought to the legislature, so personally I don't have any much information. But what drew my attention was what is appearing in the media space, that people are carrying out different lies, different rumors concerning that contract and participation of government actors and non-government actors. So I'm happy that my colleagues are writing a detailed letter on that matter, and I think they will have the opportunity to go into depth. But this issue We are calling for full investigation to put the issue to rest.
For his part, Bapudu County Senator Amara Mohammed Konen alleged that Melted Scientific Limited is defrauding the people and the government of Liberia of its needed revenue.
Melted Scientific Liberia and the government of Liberia enter into service contracts to provide destination inspection for imports into Liberia. That contract calls for a 20% share for the government through the LRA. It's not domiciled in Liberia. It's now going into the consolidated account, and we need to just so the Senate know, when this issue came to our attention again through the media, the Commerce Committee and the PAC met to discuss it. We communicated with METEC to provide information. They responded suggesting that there was a court case on potential money laundering regarding the same contract before the Supreme Court and refused to provide documents. The other issue here is the contract execution. METEC Scientific introduced a new company from METEC Scientific Dubai.
Maputo County Senator Amara Mohammed Konen earlier heard the voice of Grand Crew County Senator Abachi. The acting chairman of the Coalition for Democratic Change has reportedly filed a formal complaint against the governing Unity Party-led government to the House of Representatives and the Liberian Senate on what it described as plans to disrupt the peace of the country. Jangas Ko is the acting chairman of CDC. He's been speaking to reporters when he spoke at programs marking the dissolution of the collaborating political parties in Monrovia.
We want to remind the victors that be magnanimous in victory. Do not be disruptive of the peace of the country, because this country has come far and we have protected the peace and democracy. You know how the government was treated even by this very seat. We also call on the government to actually not be disruptive of this new governing process. A few weeks ago, we did issue communiques to the Speaker and the Senate, actually outlining the excesses of the UP government a few months into office. We think the conduct of the government is very disruptive of the peace of the country, targeting former government officials, targeting and the illegal removal of people who are protected by tenure in the various positions in government.
The acting chairman of the Opposition Coalition for Democratic Change, former Controller General of Liberia, Jangako. The Liberian National Police has arrested one person in connection to the group's murder of 36-year-old Amanda Nimbo, an officer of the Monrovia City Police. On April 13, 2024, Officer Nimbo was allegedly stabbed to death at the Barnesville Junction by several individuals believed to be robbers while on her way home. Here is the Liberian National Police Inspector General Colonel Gregory Coleman addressing the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism.
I would like to speak to one or two issues that are out there. One has to do with the gruesome murder of Ms. Amanda Nibo, which then occurred on April 14th at about 12 midnight. That's a sad event that we don't wish for anyone. As part of our crime initiatives, I mean, this is something that is very disheartening. We consider it one of those issues that have to be aggressively pursued, and is being aggressively pursued as we speak. To date, we have arrested one of the key suspects in the murder who has admitted his involvement, and he has given us names of additional suspects who were involved, and the police are after them right now as we are ongoing with this exchange here. So hopefully within a day or two, we should have the rest of them in custody. But beyond that, we're really concerned about the occurrences of crime in that area. So we are reviewing measures to put in place to try to curtail the situation and to keep people safe.
Colonel Gregory Coleman is the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police. They're speaking. Reboji County Senator Jutonu has written the plenary of the Liberian Senate seeking budgetary allocation for youth organizations and other groupings in the fight against drugs and substance abuse across Liberia. Here is the senator speaking during the plenary of the Liberian Senate.
Permeated the corridors of our society. This communication could not have come at a better time than when we are appropriating through budgetary allocation. There are few institutions and functionaries, but are catering to our young people, indigents, and trouble youth. To try in our weak ways to put something aside as a subsidy to help them do what they are doing will not only go a long way, but it will also show that we care and that we can do something for our people. Let me tell you something. There's a place right opposite the 101 gas station on the Duper Road. I was just there a fortnight ago. There is this lady, and colleagues, who has her own place and she's catering to these young people, real young people, able-bodied men, trying to bring them back and take them from the streets.
Jonathan Bocha is a senator hailing from the southeastern county of Reboji. The former director of compliance at the National Fire Service is proposing a national conference comprising of stakeholders to find concrete solution to address the alarming fire incidents across Liberia. Augustus Momo described the proposed conference as necessary on grounds that its disaster occurrences is of security risk.
We wouldn't suggest, in fact, there's a letter on the way to the Speaker of the House as well as the Fire Chief, Honorable Bafo. We want to suggest a 1 to 3 day dialogue. Fire outbreak has become a national security issue. It has claimed the attention of the entire country, even our neighbors. Fire outbreak has also become a national emergency, kind of health emergency, and economic emergency, matter of fact. So we have a 1 to 3 day sector dialogue, stakeholder dialogue. We need to come together and discuss.
He is the former director of compliance at the Liberia National Fire and Rescue Service. Augustus Momo, they're speaking. We will join Christopina for our international developments.
Nigeria's socialite and businessman, Cubana chief priest, has become the latest local celebrity to be charged with abuse of banknotes. The socialite, whose real name is Pascal Ikechukwu, pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of abusing banknotes during a court appearance on Wednesday. Authorities say he threw money into the air at various social events. This is technically an offense, as notes fall to the ground where they are thrown on. The practice, known as spraying, is commonly done at Nigerians' weddings and celebrations. The money is thrown for guests to pick up and take. On Tuesday, Nigeria's elite anti-crime agency, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, said it was leading a draft against all forms of naira abuse. The EFCC accused Ikechukwu of spraying and tampering with 500 naira notes at events held this year in Nigeria's capital city, Lagos.
Many thanks to you, Chris, for the reading of the foreign developments, bringing us to an end of this edition of News Run. Before we go to major stories in the headlines, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency's Director General Colonel Abraham Kroman and his Deputy for Operations, Hassan Fatika, hold a lockerheads at the institution. But Information Minister Jerry Dimipia says the Liberian President Joseph Boakai is making efforts to resolve the conflict. Liberia National Fire and Rescue Service releases statistics on fire disasters from January to April this year. The director of the fire service, Wasuwa Bafo, reveals 11 persons died, while 51 occupants were made homeless during the period on a review. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Transport, launches 21 days vehicle inspection across Liberia beginning today. Transport Minister Salif Talon announces the collection and deposit of US 2.4 million as revenue collected from January to March this year. In other news, District 10 Representative Yeke Koruba has agreed to appear at the Liberia National Police later today to answer to invitation by the police, but warned that any attempt to arrest him will meet a stiff resistance from him. Let me say thanks for listening and watching. Thanks to all of our reporters, our editors, correspondents, and those who helped in making this May week after launch presentation a success. Christopina Nyanneh brought you the local news bulletin from our news center, and many thanks to Fatuma Tabari. She was here with the Passion of Life Sports. Rufus Divan Bros Jr. was behind the Facebook camera this afternoon. Thanks to DJ Fixer for ensuring that our voices went through the program. For on behalf of the team here at Brand Communications, join the station at 4 for the news on the hour, and better still at 7 for another presentation. I'm Jutonu Kollie. Thanks for listening and watching. Good afternoon.